Hello everybody, hello, good afternoon. Doing another video. Going to do a very different video today actually. I was inspired by a YouTube user named Darren Locke, who does a lot of album reviews, but he does mainly progressive rock albums. One thing he's also done is primers. Primers being the discography of the band's studio albums, or starting with studio and some he'll mention live, but I'm going to do my very first primer. I've been wanting to do a primer because I got inspired by Darren Locke. He's done primers on King Crimson, Yes, Pink Floyd, The Who, Marillion. My review, for those of you following my Oingo Boingo reviews, this is going to be an Oingo Boingo primer. This is my first primer that I'm doing. I'm going to go through all 7 of their studio albums in chronological order. So this is my 4th Oingo Boingo video. So we're going to get started with the Oingo Boingo primer, starting with album number 1, 1981's Only a Lad album. This was the first album, and you can also see my review for this. This is the first Oingo Boingo review I did. This is their first record. It came out in 81, as I said. Really great debut. I really like this. Is one of the classic Oingo Boingo albums. It's got some amazing songs on here, such as Little Girls. We all know Little Girls. You know, Perfect System, On the Outside, Only a Lad. You know, there's some great songs on this one. So this starts off really good one. Definitely recommend you check this one out. This is a great Oingo Boingo debut. Great release, and also some great cover art from Oingo Boingo, or from the artist who did this on Oingo Boingo. So this is the first album by Oingo Boingo. We're going to get on to album number 2, Nothing to Fear. This is the second Oingo Boingo album. Came out in 82. Another awesome album cover. Really strong material on this one. We all know, you know, Private Life, Great Matters, great. Why Did We Come? Running on a Treadmill, Wild Sex and Working Class. There's some great songs on there. This is a great follow-up. Maybe even better than the debut. It's one of the best. Definitely one to check out as well. I really dig this one. So this is the second one, Nothing to Fear by Oingo Boingo. Totally should give this one a listen. YouTube this if you have to. Album number 3. I did this one early this morning at 1:42 in the morning while you were probably all asleep. The third album, Good for Your Soul. This is one I pulled out again recently and listened to. This one's got some really great stuff. Fill the Void is my favorite on here. Who You Want to Be, of course, Nothing Bad Ever Happens to Me. The hit is awesome on this. You know, No Spilled Blood. Good for Your Soul, the title song. Might be my favorite of the 3, actually. It's hard to pick a favorite out of the first 3, but this one might be my actual favorite of the classic era, as long as the early era of Oingo Boingo. So this one came out in 83. Good for Your Soul, the 3rd album. And then we get on to a breakthrough album, one that if anybody only owns one Oingo Boingo album that's not Best of Boingo or some kind of greatest hits album, it's this one. Dead Man's Party. This is the first one I got. I found it for $1 used. And this one, basically, he's got all the hits on it. Like, well, not all, but like the big hits such as Dead Man's Party, Weird Science, you know, Stay. There's some really great songs. It's a very strong album. Not my favorite, but I do really like it. I just finished listening to it again. There's some really strong songs on this one. Just Another Day is a great song. Dead Man's Party. Heard Somebody Cry. Stay is one of my very favorites. I actually saw the music video of that for the first time this morning, shortly after I did my Good for Your Soul review. Fool's Paradise is really good. Pretty good starting point. I think this would be a good one to start with. I mean, it was my first one, but it's another killer album. This is their 85 breakthrough album, Dead Man's Party. Gotta love this one. Next we go on to another one. Album number 5, Boingo, and you can see my review of this one. This was the second one that I reviewed, but yeah, after you watch the primer, go back and watch the reviews that I've done if you haven't done so already. This was a little more mainstream, a little more commercial. It starts off with some really great moments. I mean, there's songs like Home Again, Where Do All My Friends Go, Elevator Man. We Close Our Eyes is one of my very, very favorite ever Oingo Boingo songs. I absolutely love We Close Our Eyes. It's a great, great song. You know, Not My Slave, of course, was a hit from this one. This is great. A little on the commercial side. Might be my least favorite, but I still love it. This is excellent. I would say this is essential. You might not want to start with this one, but this is definitely one you'd want to have in your collection. At least get it. You should be able to find this, the Oingo Boingo CDs, you should be able to find them at a pretty good price. So, Boingo 87, album number 5, great. And now we go into the 90s. The first album from the 90s, this came out right in 90, Dark at the End of the Tunnel. Well, this is definitely a darker album, so that album title is fitting. Love the cover on this one as well. There's some really great songs on this one. There's, I really like the direction, When the Lights Go Out is good, Skin. Of course, Out of Control was like the first song I heard, and I realized I had to get this album because Out of Control was the hit, and there's it's a really great song. Try to Believe is also very good on this. This is a very beautiful song. I really recommend checking this one out. Probably not the best place to start, but at the same time not a bad place to start. I really like this album. Some Oingo Boingo fans I think were a little turned off by it. I think this is a great album. This is one of the best things that Danny Elfman has ever done. Really strong songwriting, good direction for the 90s. So this is album number 6. And then we go on to the ultimate album. Before I pull this one up, this album has changed my life so much that for the longest time I thought this was the best album ever. Not just by Oingo Boingo, but just the best album ever created. There's been tons of albums like that, so I don't know if that still holds true, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely got to be in my top 10 of best albums of all time. And Danny Elfman never topped himself after this. We all know the album. 1990, was it 2, 94, can't remember the year, but Boingo. I remember when this album came out, I remember seeing them on Jay Leno, they played Hey, and I heard this album and I listened to it and then I finally had to buy a copy of it. This is an incredible album. This is definitely the best swan song of an album I've ever heard. Danny Elfman ended Oingo Boingo because he knew he put out an album so good that he knew he just couldn't top it. They put out this album, did their farewell concert. That was the end of Oingo Boingo. And they ceased to exist. Danny Elfman has said many times he would never reform it. There has been, offshoots of Oingo Boingo with members such as Steve Bartek, John Avila, Johnny Vatos. I think maybe some of the horn section, but this album is incredible. I just want to go on some of the songs that really hit me. Spider is a great, great song. Hey was the first song I heard. That's great. Mary. War Again is great, but the song that is probably my favorite ever that Danny Elfman wrote is Can't See Useless. It's such a beautiful and sad song. I've had, whenever I have female friends, I would play that to them, and some of them just loved it. This is an incredible album, Boingo. This definitely, you might not want to start with this one. You might not want to start with the best first. You might want to work your way up. And this is a very different Oingo Boingo album. This one kind of sounds like a Tim Burton soundtrack movie. It doesn't have that poppy party dance feel that most of their albums had. That's probably why they dropped the Oingo off the name, because it's Boingo. Oingo is nowhere on this album at all. It's just Boingo. But this is a very, very fitting farewell to the band. You just could not get any better than this. As much as I love all the albums before this one, this is the best thing Danny Elfman ever did, in my opinion. Great album cover artwork. Yeah. I'm not really, too keen on the Beatles cover on this. I think you could have taken that one off, put on an original in place of that. It would have been even better, but I can't complain too much. This is a complete masterpiece. All their albums are excellent. All their albums are great. I'm just a huge Oingo Boingo fan. I've been forever. I have every one of their albums on CD. So there you go. That's the Oingo Boingo primer. My first ever primer. I'm excited to do it. Which ones I would recommend to start with? A good starting point would probably be Dead Man's Party. I'm going to recommend you Dead Man's Party and Good for Your Soul. Get those two first, and then you can, go in whatever direction you want after that. Either one's a good one to start with. I say I'm giving you two: Dead Man's Party and Good for Your Soul. Get those two, and then build up your collection, complete it like I did. Alright, thanks for watching. This is my very first primer. This is the Oingo Boingo primer. Very excited to do it. Love this band, love Danny Elfman, love Steve Bartek, love Johnny Betos. Great, love them. Alright, thanks for watching. I'm going to be doing some more videos pretty shortly, maybe some more primers. I'd like to do another primer on some other bands I like. Maybe even do some more Oingo Boingo album reviews. Right now I've done 3 album reviews. Go check those out. Look through my videos if you have to, but that is the Oingo Boingo primer. Alright, thanks for watching everybody. Have a very good day, and I'll see you during the next video. Later.